Hi, Connor Gunn here from Lethbridge News Now. Welcome to the Weekly with LNN, where we go over some of the biggest stories from this past week and what you can look forward to this weekend. New Covid-19 restrictions were announced this week. Starting Sunday, restaurants, bars, pubs, lounges, and cafes are closed to in-person services with only delivery and takeout permitted. Shopping malls and retail services must reduce customer capacity to 15% of fire code occupancy, and these measures will be in effect for at least the next 4 weeks. And to view the full list of restrictions, go to lethbridgenewsnow.com. After months of having a mandatory mask bylaw in Lethbridge, our city's police chief is fed up with people not complying. Police Chief Shaheen Medizadeh wants his message to be clear to any protesters against masks that enforcement is the next step. Health Canada has approved Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine and will be distributed soon. Health Canada and the Public Health Agency of Canada will closely monitor the safety of the vaccine once it's on the market. Healthcare workers in Alberta will receive the vaccine starting this coming Wednesday, and at-risk Albertans can expect it in the coming weeks. AHS has confirmed 1,738 new COVID cases today. 81% of those were in the Edmonton and Calgary zones, but in the South Zone, 67 people tested positive. That includes 21 in Lethbridge and 10 in Medicine Hat. And since yesterday's report, another 18 Albertans have died from COVID. Lethbridge residents are petitioning against the rezoning of the current Ramada Hotel and Chinook Motel for a pair of proposed shelters. The Mustard Seed is looking to create a new permanent supportive housing complex and a sober shelter. The petition is asking City Council to vote no to the proposed rezoning. The province is eliminating license plate expiry stickers in 2021. Starting January 1st, registry offices won't be issuing the stickers. Instead, the province will transition to high-definition reflective license plates next fall. And on the weekend, many city facilities will close starting Sunday. This comes after the new COVID restrictions were announced, and some of the facilities, including the ATB arenas, the NMAX Center, and the City Hall. Well, now that the hard news is out of the way, how about something a little more fluffy? I stopped at the Lethbridge Animal Services Shelter this week to see how the pandemic has impacted adoptions.
Long stretch of the pandemic, animal shelters were busy at the beginning with adopting furry friends, but now it has leveled off just before the holidays. At the city-run Lethbridge Animal Services Shelter, the demand to adopt animals was also high, especially back at the start of the pandemic when people with much more spare time were adopting pets. Animal Control Enforcement Officer Skylar Pleward says the adoption rate has changed mainly because drop-ins haven't been allowed throughout the pandemic.
We're just booking appointments, and we're finding that to actually be almost more successful than the drop-in type stuff, because we know when the people show up, they're truly interested in something, and our staff can focus a little bit more on finding, a particular fit for that family or whatever, whether it be a cat or a dog.
Pleward says many of their animals get scooped up and given a family before the holidays, and this year, with the added pandemic, animals are flying out the door. With very few animals actually housed at the shelter right now, he hopes those that are left will find a home soon, but for the right person or family.
There's so much excitement and like positive energy around Christmas time that I think bringing a pet into the home is, at that point in time, is a bonus, is a good thing. But I don't want people to think that we only want them to go because of the high energy, and then come January, February, people start to forget about the pet and they're not as interested anymore.
At the end of the day, Pleward and Lethbridge Animal Services hopes their animals can find a safe home for the rest of what seems like a never-ending year. For Lethbridge News Now, I'm Connor Gunn.
If you'd like to make an appointment to see any of the animals, call 403-320-4099. Those are just a few of the stories we've been covering this week. To stay up to date on the latest local and regional news, head over to lethbridgenewsnow.com or find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And if you have any stories or topics you'd like us to follow, send us a message. Thanks for watching. Tune in next Friday for another edition of The Weekly with me, Connor Gunn. Have a great weekend.